Fuck, I never imagined that a regular late night at the office could turn into something that would consume me entirely, leave me trembling, and haunt every thought for days to come. The fluorescent lights above flickered softly, reflecting off the polished floors and empty desks, making the office feel vast, silent, almost sacred in its emptiness. The hum of the computers, the occasional creak of the ventilation, these mundane sounds became the backdrop for something extraordinary, something I didn't see coming. I had been alone for hours, or so I thought. I was typing up some reports, eyes tired, back aching, coffee long gone cold. My mind wandered from numbers to daydreams I couldn't quite name. Then I noticed movement in the corner of my eye. Emily. She hadn't left. She was leaning casually against the far desk, one hand resting on the edge, the other absently twirling a pen. Her hair, long and dark, cascaded perfectly over her shoulders, catching the light and giving off a subtle shimmer that made me pause mid-breath. She was new, just a few weeks, but already had a presence that filled the room. Every gesture, every glance, every soft tilt of her head drew attention without even trying. "You're still here?" she asked, her voice soft, teasing, carrying a subtle heat that I felt in my chest instantly. "Yeah," I replied, voice catching slightly. "Deadlines." Her lips curved in a knowing smile. I couldn't look away. Every movement she made, the tilt of her head, the subtle sway of her hips, the way her blouse hugged her shoulders, pulled me in. She stepped closer, fingers brushing against the edge of my desk, light as a feather, but it was like electricity shooting through my body. The faint scent of her perfume hit me, jasmine with a warmer, musky undertone that made my stomach tighten. I wanted her. I wanted her right now. "Funny," she murmured, tilting her head slightly, "I thought I was the only one who couldn't leave work behind." Her words were loaded. Heavy. Provocative. My rational mind screamed caution, but desire drowned it out instantly. She leaned slightly closer, letting her knee brush mine under the desk. I felt every nerve fire, my pulse hammering. "You think about things you wouldn't admit," she whispered, voice low, tantalizing, close to my ear. "Yes," I admitted, barely above a whisper. "More than you can imagine." Her smile deepened, slow and deliberate. "Good," she said. "Because so do I." The air between us thickened, charged. Her hand traced lightly along my forearm, the tips of her fingers brushing against my skin like sparks. I shivered, chest tight, mind blank with anticipation. The cold office suddenly felt intimate, like a world built just for us. I leaned closer, eyes tracing the line of her jaw, lips, neck. Her fingers brushed mine again, teasing, deliberate. She didn't pull away. She pressed slightly against me, and I felt heat radiate through my body. Her lips hovered near mine. The first kiss was tentative, soft, testing, but as soon as our mouths met, it sparked something wild. My hands roamed, tracing the curve of her waist, the line of her spine, memorizing the warmth of her skin. She pressed back, teasing, daring, molding her body against mine. We moved slowly across the office, careful but unable to restrain the growing fire. Every touch, every gasp, every whispered laugh built the intensity. I memorized every shiver, every tremor, every soft sigh. Her hands tangled in my hair, pulling gently, guiding me, daring me to lose myself completely. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, the computers hummed in the background, but we didn't notice. There was only us, a storm of heat and desire, nerves alive with sensation. I kissed her neck, feeling the shiver of her body under my hands. She gasped softly, tilting her head, letting me explore, letting me trace every inch of her warmth. Every pause, every whispered laugh, every soft moan, every brush of skin was drawn out, savored. I moved my hands slowly, deliberately, memorizing the softness of her stomach, the subtle curve of her hips. Her body arched, guiding, teasing, matching my rhythm. "Someone could walk in," I murmured, breathless. "That's what makes it thrilling," she whispered, lips brushing my ear, daring me. Her confidence made me ache. I wanted her completely, surrendered fully. Every kiss deepened, every touch grew bolder. My restraint shattered, replaced by fire, hunger, desire. Hours passed unnoticed. Every kiss, caress, soft gasp drew us deeper into a rhythm of heat and intimacy. I memorized her reactions: shiver of skin, warmth of breath, softness of lips, curve of body pressed against mine. She guided me with subtle movements, teasing, commanding, enticing. We paused briefly, bodies tangled, hearts racing, chests heaving. "I've wanted this," she whispered, voice trembling. "Since the first day I saw you." That confession sent shivers through me. I wanted her, craved her, surrendered fully. Every brush of skin, gasp, tremble became rhythm. The office became our private arena. Papers scattered, unnoticed. The hum of electronics and our symphony of breaths, moans, and laughter created a world that belonged only to us. Eventually, we collapsed against the floor, laughing breathlessly, tangled, bodies alive with sensation. Her head rested against my chest, soft warmth enveloping me. "Guess staying late has its rewards," she whispered. "Yes," I murmured, still trembling. "Definitely." The next day, the office seemed normal again: fluorescent lights, cold desks, empty chairs, but I remembered every detail: warmth of her hands, softness of skin, taste of lips, fire consuming us. My mind replayed every touch, gasp, whisper, shiver. Her message came later: "I can't stop thinking about last night. You?" I smiled, fingers hovering over the keyboard. "Absolutely. When can we continue?" The night had changed everything. Desire had taken over. There was no going back. Every thought, nerve, craving pointed to her, the next stolen moment, losing control completely. The office became a memory, but the sensation lingered, her in my mind, my body, every thought. Every glance, every smile, every brush of hands reminded me of that night, of surrender, pleasure, fire. And I knew this was only the beginning. More nights, touches, whispers awaited. The fire had been lit, and there was no extinguishing it. I was hers, and I wanted all of it. The afternoon light had long faded, and the office was completely silent now, except for the faint hum of the computers and the occasional creak of the air conditioning. I could still feel her presence even before she entered the room, the memory of her warmth lingering in my body. Every nerve was alive, buzzing with the recollection of last night. My hands itched to touch her again, to relive every curve, every shiver, every gasp. Emily walked in, carrying a stack of files, her posture casual yet deliberate. The slight sway of her hips as she moved sent a familiar shiver down my spine. She looked up, catching my gaze, and a slow, knowing smile spread across her lips. That smile alone could ignite something wild inside me. "You've been quiet today," she said, leaning casually against my desk. Her hand brushed mine when she placed the files down. The contact was fleeting, yet it sent sparks racing through me. "Just thinking," I replied, trying to mask the tension in my voice. But she didn't need words. Her eyes, deep and teasing, said everything. I wanted her. I wanted her so badly it was almost painful. She stepped closer, the subtle warmth of her body pressing against me. I could feel the curve of her shoulder, the softness of her hair brushing my neck. Every inch of her presence was intoxicating, pulling me into a current I couldn't resist. Her lips hovered near my ear. "You've been replaying last night, haven't you?" she whispered. I swallowed hard, my breath catching. "Every second," I admitted. She smiled, a mischievous glint in her eyes. "Good. Because I have too." Her hands found mine again, fingers entwining, lingering longer than necessary. The brush of her skin, the warmth of her touch, sent waves of desire crashing through me. I could feel my pulse quicken, my body responding to every subtle movement, every soft sigh. We moved slowly across the office again, a silent rhythm developing between us. Every touch, every glance, every whispered word built the intensity. I memorized the shiver of her skin under my fingers, the warmth of her breath, the softness of her lips. Her hands guided me, teasing, daring me to surrender completely. We paused near the large window, the city lights flickering in the distance. She turned to me, her eyes dark with desire. "I don't want to wait," she whispered. "Neither do I murmured, pressing my lips to hers. The kiss was slow, deliberate, consuming. My hands roamed over her body, tracing every curve, memorizing every inch of warmth, every subtle tremor. She responded with equal fervor, pressing back, matching every movement, drawing me in completely. Time lost all meaning. The office, the world outside, everything faded away. There was only us, our bodies entwined, our breaths mingling, our hearts racing. Every kiss, every touch, every soft gasp was savored, stretched, remembered. Her hands tangled in my hair, pulling gently, guiding me closer. I kissed the line of her jaw, her neck, feeling the shiver of her body under my lips. She pressed back, matching every motion, teasing, daring, igniting every nerve in me. We moved slowly, deliberately, savoring each moment. My hands traced her back, memorizing the softness of her skin, the curve of her waist. She arched toward me, guiding me, teasing, matching my rhythm. Every movement was a conversation, every sigh a word, every gasp a sentence. We paused briefly, foreheads touching, chests heaving. "I've wanted this for so long," she whispered, voice trembling with desire. "Me too," I admitted, breathless. "Every day, every moment, I've wanted you." Her smile deepened, slow, knowing. "Good. Because tonight, I'm not letting you go." The air between us was electric, charged, thick with anticipation. Every brush of skin, every soft moan, every shiver was drawn out, savored, remembered. I memorized the warmth of her body, the softness of her lips, the tremble in her hands. She guided me subtly, teasing, daring, drawing me in completely. Hours passed like minutes. Every movement, every touch, every whisper of breath deepened the intensity. I traced the line of her neck with my fingers, felt her heartbeat, memorized the heat of her skin. She responded with equal fervor, guiding, teasing, drawing me in completely. Eventually, we collapsed against the floor, tangled, laughing breathlessly, hearts racing, chests heaving. Her head rested against my chest, soft warmth enveloping me. "Guess staying late has its rewards," she whispered. "Yes," I murmured, still trembling. "Definitely." The next day, the office felt normal again, cold and lifeless. But I remembered every detail, the warmth of her hands, the softness of her skin, the taste of her lips, the fire that had consumed us. My mind replayed every touch, every gasp, every whispered word, every shiver. Her message came later: "I can't stop thinking about last night. You?" I smiled, fingers hovering over the keyboard. "Absolutely. When can we continue?" The night had changed everything. Desire had taken over. There was no going back. Every thought, every nerve, every craving pointed to her, the next stolen moment, to losing control completely. The office was a memory, but the sensation lingered, her in my mind, my body, every thought. Every glance, every smile, every brush of hands reminded me of that night, of surrender, pleasure, fire. And I knew this was just the beginning. More nights, more touches, more whispers awaited. The fire had been lit, and there was no extinguishing it. I was hers, and I wanted all of it. The office had quieted down completely. Outside, the city lights twinkled, casting faint reflections across the polished floor. We were still tangled together near the window, breaths heavy, hearts pounding in rhythm. Every nerve was alive, every inch of skin remembered. I could feel the warmth of her body pressed against mine, the softness of her hair brushing my cheek, the lingering taste of her lips still on mine. Her hand slid along my arm, tracing the lines of my muscles gently, teasingly. "You're still shaking," she whispered, voice low, almost playful. "I can't help it," I admitted, chest rising and falling rapidly. You make it impossible." She laughed softly, the sound vibrating against my ear, sending shivers down my spine. Her fingers pressed into my side, playful yet deliberate, guiding, exploring. I traced her back with my hands, memorizing every curve, every subtle movement, the way her body responded to mine. We shifted slightly, moving closer, as if every part of us wanted to merge completely. Her lips found mine again, slow, lingering, tasting, teasing. I lost track of time, of thought, of anything outside the cocoon of warmth and desire we had created. Every touch, every sigh, every soft moan became a symphony, a language only we understood. She pressed against me, her body soft yet insistent, guiding my hands, molding them to her curves. I responded instinctively, exploring, memorizing, surrendering completely. The intensity was overwhelming, every nerve alight, every thought consumed by her presence. We paused briefly, foreheads touching, breaths mingling, hearts racing. "I've never felt anything like this," she whispered, voice trembling. "It's like everything else disappears." "Me neither," I admitted, voice low, raw. "It's just you. Only you." Her smile deepened, slow, knowing, and I felt a shiver of anticipation run down my spine. She guided me to the floor, lying down beside me, our bodies still pressed, tangled, seeking, exploring. Every touch, every kiss, every movement was deliberate, measured, yet filled with a wild, unrestrained hunger. Time became meaningless. There was only the heat between us, the soft rhythm of our breathing, the taste of lips, the warmth of skin. I memorized every inch of her, every reaction, every shiver, every sigh. She guided me as much as I guided her, teasing, daring, drawing me into a rhythm that was entirely ours. Eventually, we paused, bodies entwined, hearts racing, chests heaving. Her head rested against my shoulder, fingers tracing gentle circles on my arm. "I could stay like this forever," she murmured. "Me too," I replied, pressing a soft kiss to her hair. "I never want it to end." We lay there for what felt like hours, talking softly, laughing quietly, whispering secrets and desires. Every word, every laugh, every brush of hands reinforced the connection we had formed, the fire that had been ignited. Later, as we dressed, adjusting our clothes, fixing our hair, the tension didn't fade. It lingered, a low, insistent hum beneath our skin, a reminder of what had happened and what was yet to come. Her hand brushed mine as we stepped back to our desks, a subtle, teasing touch that made my chest tighten. The following day, I couldn't focus. Every thought, every glance, every sound reminded me of her, of last night, of the way our bodies had moved together, of the warmth, the laughter, the fire. My phone buzzed, her message: "I can't stop thinking about last night." "Me neither." I smiled, fingers hovering over the keyboard, heart racing. "Absolutely. When can we continue?" The night had changed everything. Desire had taken over, consuming thought and body alike. There was no going back. Every glance, every word, every brush of skin reminded me of her, of the fire we had ignited, and the anticipation of what was next. Even now, in the office, every subtle movement, every smile, every casual touch between us sparked memory, sparked fire. The world outside felt dull, lifeless, compared to the intensity of what we had shared. Every thought, every nerve, every heartbeat was drawn toward her, toward the next encounter, the next stolen moment, the next surrender. And I knew, without a doubt, this was just the beginning. Nights would come, touches would follow, whispers would continue. The flame had been lit, fierce and consuming, and there was no extinguishing it. I was hers, fully and completely, and I wanted it all, every moment, every touch, every breath, every whisper.